So Planned Parenthood says secrecy was the only way to get this project done because of attacks on abortion access. So let's discuss with Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall and founder and president of Live Action, Lila Rose. Welcome to you both.
Hi, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Okay, so a quote from the chief medical officer of Planned Parenthood Southwest Regional Chapter says, "We were really intentional and thoughtful about making sure that we were able to complete this project as expeditiously as possible because we saw the writing on the wall." Says patients needed better access, so we decided to get it open as quickly as we could. Lila, they say it's essentially access was under threat. They thought that people could give them a hard time about trying to build this facility. Apparently some people working on it didn't even know what they were building, but they said they had to do it because of the threats to access.
This is not about helping women. This is about selling more abortions. Illinois, their recent abortion law that passed is worse than New York's. Abortion is legal on babies up through 9 months of pregnancy, fully viable babies in the state of Illinois. And Planned Parenthood wants to capitalize on that. That's why they're building a mega facility, because they want to commit as many abortions as possible and profit off of the pain of women. And quite frankly, according to their own annual reports, that's their bottom line. That's what they're trying to increase, and they have increased their abortion numbers in the last 10 years. They are now 40%, nearly 40% of the nation's abortions. Their priority is abortion. It's not women. It's profiting off of abortions.
Well, Leslie, Kristen Hawkins, who is a pro-life activist, tweets this: "If you have to hide what you're doing, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. That's what my mom used to say, at least." What do you make of the secrecy?
Well, I think they had to. I mean, there's not only been attack with legislation. I mean, we certainly have seen threats over the years and actually physical violence toward physicians and toward workers at these clinics, even though the majority of what Planned Parenthood and these other clinics do for women is not abortion, but provides other services as well. And I've always said, Shannon, that if the states are going to be very strict and make it more difficult and keep closing facilities, they're just going to be built and crop up in other states. And what's happened here has actually proved me right. People will cross state lines to get the care they need. And remember, in very large minority populations, rural populations, and lower income populations, these clinics are essential for women's health services that have nothing to do with abortion, for women that are looking for birth control, for women that are looking for breast exams, or for women that are even looking for prenatal information education.
Lila, you sounded like you wanted to respond there, but let me read something quickly from USA Today reporting on this clinic being under construction and coming to fruition, saying support for legal abortion has reached its highest level in more than 2 decades. According to a July Washington Post ABC News poll, 60% say abortion should be legal in most or all cases.
So actually, it's the majority of Americans want abortion restrictions, and that's not what's happening in Illinois. That's not what Planned Parenthood supports. Planned Parenthood, again, is profiting off of these abortions, and the reason that they did this in secret in Illinois is because they know that most Americans don't want anything to do with the abortion industry. They don't want big abortion centers in their communities, near their schools, near their homes. They don't want women to come in and then be offered no options, which is what happens at Planned Parenthood. They're not providing prenatal care. They're not providing adoption support. They're not providing parenting classes, even though they're called Planned Parenthood. They're committing abortions, and their numbers have gone up for abortions over the last 10 years, but their cancer screenings, their breast cancer services, many breast exam services, many of their other so-called services have actually declined dramatically. They even recently fired their CEO, Dr. Leana Wen, because she wasn't pro-abortion enough. She wanted to instead focus on healthcare. There was their first doctor being their CEO in dozens of years. So it's really clear that Planned Parenthood's priority is not women's healthcare, it's abortion, and it's taking the lives of innocent preborn children who deserve to be loved and cherished, and their mothers who deserve to be supported and offered real options. But that's not what's happening here, and that's why they did this in secret, because Americans do not want to be a part of this or supporting it in their communities.
Leslie, final word to you.
That's not, I'm sorry, that's not true. The majority, what Shannon states is accurate regarding what you're talking about, Lila, is they
want abortion restrictions. The majority of Americans want restrictions.
The majority of Americans.
That's not in Illinois. There's no restrictions in Illinois.
I'd like to have some time. I'd like to have my time as well. The majority, even of Democrats, do not favor late-term abortions, third trimester abortions, but that's not what the majority of abortions being performed by Planned Parenthood or anywhere else in the country have. In addition, Planned Parenthood is not holding a gun to these women's heads. These women willfully go to a clinic such as Planned Parenthood who choose to have an abortion. So it's not like Planned Parenthood is advertising and
they're not
luring
giving
people
other options
in, and you're trying to hold them responsible for a decision that these patients are making on their own.
We got to leave it there, but Leslie and Lila, we appreciate you both coming in to weigh in on this hot topic. Thank you.
Thanks,
Shannon.